Hello YouTube, this is DVD Review Studios here, and today I'm going to be doing a very random, off-the-cuff kind of informal video. This is basically more or less going to be a kind of channel update, a return to YouTube in a sense. I think this is probably the longest I've gone without uploading a video in a number of years, since it's been a couple of months, and that is more or less because I've been between jobs. Hopefully at this moment in time with the current job I have in a good basis for a career. And that's the kind of thing I'm hoping to aim for, so that's why more or less I've been absent, just focusing on stuff in the real world, as I'm sure many of you can appreciate, and that's basically the short of why I have been away from YouTube. But at the moment, with how things currently are, I'm hoping to basically get back into the swing of things, and that would obviously mean regular uploads. So this is just going to be a kind of general channel overview update, plus a sort of topical thing that recently happened that may be of interest. And that's unfortunately my Blu-ray player died a couple of days ago. This is the Blu-ray player I received for Christmas in 2012, and I remember that specifically because I made a video about it on that day.
Main present, shall we say, was the Blu-ray player, which I've just set up, and I'm at the moment watching Limitless, which is a brilliant film. So there it is, under the telly there.
So there's some old footage of me basically just showing off just how the Blu-ray was set up, and yeah, we have one heck of a change from back then to now. But anyway, the Blu-ray player unfortunately died. It's not as though it's actually dead, it's just that it doesn't really do what it's supposed to do. If you try and play a Blu-ray on it, it just stutters and stammers and just does not actually get it working. And DVDs, it's kind of intermittent where they do work or not. It's honestly just depending on whether or not the Blu-ray player wants to do it, I suppose. So I recently grabbed a new Blu-ray player off of eBay. It was only £16, just for the player. Remote wasn't included, nor was the HDMI or anything like that. So for £16, I think that's a pretty decent bargain. I was, funnily enough, just going to go all out and just kind of upgrade the whole setup. But that's going to cost me a hell of a lot of money. I was going to aim for sort of towards the 4K kind of thing, but that's a little bit out of my price range at the moment in time, and it's just not really something I'm looking at the moment. But maybe sort of in the near future down the line, I will pursue that kind of setup in the future. But I'm perfectly happy with what I have in terms of a setup. The Blu-ray player is, funnily enough, the same model, so I just kind of stuck with what I was used to, since that one is a great Blu-ray player in terms of it being multi-region, and that's exactly what I wanted, really. And funnily enough, it came pre-hacked, which is something that doesn't normally happen, I suppose, but there you go. So the Blu-ray player works absolutely fine, and plays Blu-rays perfectly without it stuttering like the previous one did, which in fact I think I'll show that off actually. Okay, so I've just plugged it in. Obviously it won't be connected to the TV, but this is basically just to show how irritating this became. So with a Blu-ray, any old Blu-ray basically, more or less it's a case of, unfortunately, they just do not play properly at all, or it takes forever to get it to do so. This is a minor kind of spoilery hint to my next update video, which I'm hoping to release at the end of this month. So if I just take any Blu-ray, apologies for doing this one-handedly, this is a very improv kind of video, obviously no special lighting or anything like that, but you get the idea. There we go. So Blu-ray goes in, and oh dear, doesn't like that. Yeah, so that's basically the Blu-ray player stuttering, and in a second it'll just spit the disc out. There you go. And it used to read on screen, please check the disc, there is something wrong with the disc. That's obviously not the case. I picked this up brand new from Asda a few days ago. There's nothing wrong with this Blu-ray, or any of the Blu-rays I've tried to use on this. It's just a case of there's something not quite right with the mechanisms inside. I'll be honest, I think it's the laser. I think the laser that reads the Blu-rays just isn't working correctly, and that's why it just doesn't read any of them. But if I grab a DVD, for example, so Archer Danger Island, and give that one a try, works perfectly fine. So it seems to just be Blu-rays that this really has an issue with. It did start with DVDs a few days ago, so that's why I think this is basically just completely fucked in terms of the laser reading any discs at all. So I'm obviously better off with a replacement rather than just struggling. There were times when you could get it to work, basically if you did put the disc back in, and then before it had the chance to spit it out, you just quickly pressed the eject button again to make sure it doesn't eject the disc. That kind of kept things rolling, and then it sort of stuttered again, and then kind of got to a point where it would just sort of forcefully read the disc. But you know, that isn't ideal, and you'd spend at least say 5-10 minutes doing that, which just wasn't worth the hassle. So yeah, as you can imagine, obviously I am better off with a new player rather than struggling. Funnily enough, the player that I did get from eBay came with a Blu-ray just lodged inside it, Transformers Dark of the Moon. Never watched any of the Transformers movies, funnily enough. You can let me know whether or not this is even worth a watch. This is like the third or fourth or fifth Transformers movie, whatever they're on these days. Not a franchise I keep up with, as you can already guess. But yeah, in terms of the Blu-ray player, thankfully that has now been resolved, so I can watch Blu-rays as per normal without any further difficulties. And yeah, in terms of the channel, basically I'm just going to try and get things back to a sort of good position where I am uploading content regularly, whether that be reviews, collection overviews, updates, etc. Just stuff that I really want to talk about in depth that I don't really have any other kind of platform to do so with, which is obviously why I live this as a hobby. It's just a great thing about the internet, I suppose, just sharing with strangers and basically just conferring about things and just sort of finding unique opinions about stuff. That's basically what the channel is all about. I do have quite a large watch pile at the moment that I've removed basically because it contains loads of stuff that I'm saving for my September update video. I'm going to try and get that pushed out. More than likely it'll be a case of I'll just be showing stuff I haven't watched, since I haven't had too much time to watch anything other than a couple of movies here and there. But I recently did finish Shyamalan's sort of trilogy with Unbreakable, which I have somewhere. I think it's in the other room. Obviously Split, which I got quite a while ago. And when I got this, I did not realise it was part of a trilogy or going to be part of a trilogy, since obviously that was a kind of sort of follow-up to Unbreakable, which I had not watched when I watched Split. So that little bit at the end with Bruce Willis reprising his role as David Dunn, that meant absolutely nothing to me. But I recently checked out Glass, the third film. It was okay. A lot of things about it I didn't really like. Obviously I'll expand on that in my update video. But yeah, anyway, this was just sort of a general kind of overview video, just discussing things in general, and basically just putting it out there that no, the channel is not dead or cancelled or anything like that. It's just basically been a rough time that thankfully I think I'm more or less through with, and fingers crossed everything should be fine from at this point on. So anyway, thanks for checking out this video. By all means, let me know in the comments if you have any video requests, anything like that you wish for to see on the channel. And please do subscribe for more upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.